So often I hear about people who have like bodyguards, and think in some religious circles they'll call them armor bearers. And you think about these people who had to have the security to keep people from them because they're so important, because they're so insightful, or they're so spiritual, or whatever. You know what's fascinating is that actually you didn't see Jesus do that. Actually, whenever his disciples even began to try to do that, he would rebuke them and try to keep them from access to him. Jesus was accessible. So how did he do it? He was the most insightful person in the universe. He was the most spiritual person in the universe. He had thousands of people that he was interfacing with. Why did Jesus not want armor bearers? Why did Jesus not want these people guarding and protecting him? And I believe that part of this is because he had boundaries. He knew when to entrust himself to people and when not to. He listened to the Father when the Lord was saying, hey, don't allow this person to have access to you. He was accessible to the people that he needed to be accessible to. And I think what a lot of times we're living in community, or we're afraid of community, is we think that people are just going to overrun us. That this, again, the invasion of privacy that we've talked about will become too much and we won't be able to have balanced lives. I'm telling you that as someone who's lived in community, it is essential that you know how to tell people no. That there are times when people want access to you, and the Lord is okay for you to say no, no, I'm sorry, I'm not available then, or hey, here's the other time that we can meet. But we have to be careful that we don't build these walls around us to keep us from the people that God has called us to love and to care for and to have access to us, while at the same time being willing to say no to the people that are maybe not healthy, they don't have good boundaries, and they just want to be able to do whatever they need, and they kind of see you as their doormat. I am not advocating that you are everyone's doormat. Jesus was not everyone's doormat. But what he was is he was available to the right people at the right time in the right way, and yet he was not available to the people that were unhealthy and were trying to take advantage of him. So when we think about this, it says in Luke 8:51, when he came to the house, he did not allow anyone to enter with him except for Peter, John, and James, and the girl's father and mother. So again, he's setting boundaries. Luke 9:28. Some 8 days after these sayings, he took along Peter and John and James and went up to the mountain and pray. So again, you have Jesus saying, okay, it's okay for you to come and you to come, but it's not okay for these other ones. And that's how he did it. He had boundaries, and he was willing to tell people no, even though they may have wanted to be there. He wasn't afraid to offend people. The practical: who are the people in your life that are dominating your time and your attention? And how can you communicate with love the boundaries that God wants you to have? And so, and what are those boundaries? You need to be asking the Lord, who are the people that should have access? Who are the people that shouldn't? And who are the people you're supposed to be giving more access to? That's what another practical I want you to consider. Who are the people that God is saying they need to have access to you? They need to be in your life. Maybe you don't like them. Maybe they push your buttons. Maybe they irritate you. But you know what? Jesus knows what you need, and maybe he's trying to say, hey, you know that button that person keeps on pressing? It's time to get rid of that button.